Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday morning training call. Gregory and Robin up here in Bozeman and everyone everywhere else. It's so nice to see you here. Thursday mornings, Hollywood Squares, as we like to call it. Uh, Today, our discussion yesterday on our director's call was uh, David did such a spectacular job, I guess, with talking about Cellergize that we decided we wanted to keep that conversation going forward. And I'll slip you a hot tip. Uh, Check your back office and in the ordered area on Sunday night because Monday Cellergize morning goes on sale. So this is a good time to talk about why to try and buy. And we've got some of our top health practitioners on with us here this morning, Dr. Velvet, Michelle Niels, and Anne Moreau, that are going to take the lead this morning and give you their perspective, summary of some of the stuff that David shared with, I'm sure, and also some of their perspective as, renowned health practitioners. So with that, I don't know if you ladies have your plan, but I'm going to zip my lip and turn it over to you.
Good morning. Yes, Gregory, we definitely have a plan. With these three women, are you kidding? Of course.
I knew you were going to, and I was hoping, but I knew you were going to say that. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We're so happy to be here with you. I don't know about y'all, but I am like out of my skin excited about Cellergize. I got to try it at convention in October, and oh la la. I am just so excited. I will be on my email Sunday night for sure. And ordering as soon as I possibly can. So Anne and Dr. Velvet and I had a delightful conversation yesterday, and I'm going to start with a brief introduction, like why did David create Cellergize? Anne is going to share the nutritional aspect and why this formula is unique. Because there's a lot of formulas out there, right, guys? A lot of people take supplements and why we stand head and shoulders above the rest. And then Dr. Velvet's going to finish off with the marketing piece because she is so good at that. So, first of all, why did David create Cellergize? Well, I don't know if most of you know, but many people are nutritionally deficient. Have you all heard of people who are using the patches and maybe after several months they say, I'm not feeling anything? Well, we all know that sometimes not feeling does not mean it's not working, but it could be a nutritional deficiency. So, in addition to drinking lots of good, clean water, it's also critical that we are getting the proper nutrients, which David has been speaking about for a long time. He has done many webinars on the value of certain nutritional supplements in our diet to increase the efficacy of the patches. So that's the other reason that David has created Cellergize is because the product will absolutely increase the effectiveness of the patches. And then finally, to enhance stem cell production, because he went into in this presentation yesterday, how certain supplements absolutely do augment and assist that whole process in our body. So you've all heard of energy drinks. Maybe you've tried one. And I can say I haven't. I'm a virgin. I have never tried one of those energy drinks, and I never would. But caffeine has very negative side effects on a lot of people. That is something our formula does not have. So if you're looking for energy, vitality, and the ability to really get the most out of all the daytime patches, and yes, Cellergize AM is more focused on assisting, augmenting, and supporting the daytime patches. If you're looking for that, well, get ready because we're all going to be beaming up in a few days here. So I'll turn it over to Anne Moreau now, who is an RN and nutritionist, and she will go into some of the unique ingredients of Cellergize.
Thank you so much, Michelle. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go over some of those amazing nutrients that have been added to this formula. So let me just get my slideshow going here. Hold on. Here we go, Cellergize. So health gain, health sustain, health retain. Isn't that beautiful that that's what's going to happen with this formula? Right? So when we look at this particular formula, we're talking about life wave nutrition for one of the first times, right? I mean, David talks about nutrition all the time, but this is life wave nutrition. And by the way, it's a powder that you mix in water. So imagine when our water X20 comes out with this cutting edge health formula that we are going to be using. It's going to be amazing. So one of the nutrients that we want to talk about, and we know that David talks a lot about copper, and he's added copper, 2 milligrams in this particular formula, selenium and zinc. All of these three are amazing for the immune system. It really supports our immune system. It plays a role in a lot of different areas in the body. Potassium and magnesium are really essential minerals. Potassium is a key regulator of alkalinity in the cell, and there's 500 milligrams in this formula. Magnesium, there's 100. And David shared yesterday that 60% of our population are deficient in this nutrient. So remember that today, more than ever, our food supply is depleted. Our soil is depleted. We are not getting the nutrients that we used to get years ago. You know, this is not the nutrients from the 1930 era, right? Today, we've got a lot of toxic stuff sprayed on our food, and our food has been altered in many, many ways. And magnesium plays a role in every function in the body, but when we talk about pain regulation, magnesium is key. So with all of those people who are deficient in magnesium is going to be really important, especially in pain management. And in some individuals, they may need a little higher dose, or maybe a 400 milligram dose would be beneficial for them if they're that magnesium depleted. The other things are the amino acids. So amino acids are your foundational building blocks. It's what helps with your muscle strength, muscle definition, those kinds of things, right? So glycine, L-lysine, beta-alanine. David talks a lot about beta-alanine. He talks about how those people who are not eating meat, the vegetarians, may want to take a supplement of beta-alanine, and it will be in this formula, which is pretty amazing. L-citrulline is 1,500 milligrams of L-citrulline. That converts to nitric oxide. What's the benefit of nitric oxide? David talked about that as well yesterday. It improves blood flow. It's great for the cardiovascular system. It induces formation of mitochondria. And what are mitochondria? They are your powerhouse of the cell. Look at the cell below the image here below, and you can see these little orange red guys over here. There's 3 of them. The more of these mitochondria that you have in your cell, the more energy you will be producing. And healing is energy intensive. You need that powerhouse in order to repair damage. So that is amazing that he's included all of these things. Now, this one here, again, the electrolytes are important. And there's 2 of our electrolytes in here, potassium, magnesium, that I've already discussed. But there's also vitamin C, which is amazing for the immune system. There's cyanothox, which is sea buckthorn fruit extract. There's a 300 milligram. One of the reasons he's added this is because not only does it improve your health, but vitality of stem cells. And, you know, we talk a lot about stem cells here. We've been told not to talk about it, but now with our formula, we can see that will help to increase that vitality. The health of the skin will improve. So you'll be protecting collagen and the elastin from breaking down. It's an anti-glycation nutrient. It prevents cross-linking. What is glycation? Most people have no clue what that word is, right? So when he says anti-glycation, I'm sure people are going, well, I don't know what that is. But glycation occurs. In fact, most of you know what a hemoglobin A1C is, right? Everyone knows that when your blood sugar starts to climb, docs will do a hemoglobin A1C to see how high is that hemoglobin A1C. Why? Because glycation is occurring and your hemoglobin is being damaged. And so we know that glycation, that, you know, some of the brown spots we see on the skin, that can be caused by glycation. You know, it can be caused by the sun exposure, but also from eating too much sugar. And if you've ever heard Dr. Tom speak, you'll hear him say, no sugar, no sugar, no sugar. Why? Because it does cause glycation in the body. So some really pretty amazing nutrients. It's so when you talk about amino acids, remember we talked about how amino acids are really important because they do a whole lot of different things in the body. They play a role in not only muscle strength, but a whole lot of other things. So we're also going to talk here about NAC, N-acetylcysteine. There's a 500 milligram dose in this formula. It supports glutathione. Now, a lot of you have heard of glutathione. For those of you who have not heard of glutathione, glutathione is a very important, what it does is it stops cell damage. So it's amazing because it stops cell damage, it supports the immune system, and it also helps with cleaning out trash from the body, if you will. So, when you're talking about detoxifying, getting rid of things, glutathione does a nice job with that. So NAC is known to help support that. So imagine combining that with our glutathione patch or X39. X39 will activate it by 30%. So if you're taking this formula with X39, people are going to really start to feel the benefit of this product. So it optimizes longevity. It triggers the production of lost cartilage. Maybe some of you have heard some of the stories, maybe you've not. But a lot of people, in fact, David has done a video talking about glutathione. And sometimes, people talk about not having cartilage in the knee, for example, right? There's none left. And bone on bone, will that get better? And a lot of folks have reported back using glutathione, glutathione on one side of the knee, on the other side of the knee with your X39 has over time triggered a production of that lost cartilage. Creatine, a lot of people know what creatine is. We know that the athletes will often use that to support muscle performance. And there's 1,000 milligrams in this formula, but recent research indicates it plays an important role in cognitive, heart health, and bone health. And this was from David yesterday, quote unquote. So this day formula enhances the effects of your patches, will enhance stem cell activation, increase cardiovascular health and cognition. It will increase muscle strength, improve the efficacy of 39 and 49, improve skin as collagen and the elastin, which is most abundant all over the body, and it will maintain water in the cell. There's our Cellergize, and we're hearing that we're going to have this really quickly. So I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Velvet, who will be talking about how are we going to move this product forward.
Awesome. You guys have really done a great job explaining the product itself. And if you were listening, I'm hoping everybody was listening to what both Michelle and Ann were saying. This is going to help you to become inspired. And how do you talk about this product when you're marketing it? So let's think about marketing. We're all network marketers, right? And many of us are practitioners, but it's important to blend both. It's important to understand the product. It's important to be able to answer those questions. But now it's about connecting people and making things personal to them. So I'm going to always say this. Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So you can talk about the product all day long, but unless you make it personal to them, it's just going to kind of go over their head. But if you were listening to Ann, there are a lot of areas that you now can make this very, very personal. So don't wait until this goes live. We need to start talking about it now. That's exactly what I've done on my social media. I started posting my little cup of my Cellergize, let people know that I was getting ready to go work out. So a pre-launch chatter really builds curiosity and it creates you a wait list, right? So people are going to start asking you, hey, tell me about what this is. And you can handle all of those questions, all that curiosity, so that on day one, you're signing people up. right? Wouldn't that be great just to have you 5, 10 people, maybe 20 that are ready to get onto the Cellergize? So you need to help your brand partners to understand how to do this too, for those of you that are leaders. So it's about getting sales from brand partners, your current customers, as well as your new folks. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. And like I said, Ann did a great job in sharing with you a lot of areas where you can talk about without making claims. But from what Ann was saying is that there are some things that we can now claim. So work it in what you are used to, how you're using it, and then flip it back to the person. So now it's time to connect. You're going to use the stories. That's how you're going to connect. We've all heard that, right? Is using the stories. So how we're going to do it with this particular one is, how did it make you feel? And Michelle had a great story that she shared with us yesterday. Hopefully, we'll be able to loop back to that. And it doesn't have to be your story. It can be somebody else's story that started using Cellergize and was using the patches, and then all of a sudden had an experience. Let the science be the support, but don't let it be your lead, because that might wash people's brains out. Right? They're like, oh my gosh, this is just more information. Lead it with some kind of story first, and then allow the science to support that. Always remember this: you have to make it loop back to them. It has to be familiar to them. It has to sing something to them. So you can tell your story, but make it like, I'm sure you've experienced the same thing, or have you experienced the same thing? And allow people to respond to you of like, hey, that post that you posted today, that really did resonate with me because I have that issue. So you're going to lead with you, but you're always going to end with them. That's very key in everything that we do when it comes to network marketing. And here's another thing. Many times when we get super excited about a product and we've been using it for a while, we give everything away. We don't build the curiosity. We just lay it all out there, and it doesn't allow us to build on a post. So that's what I did today. I started out with the cup of Cellergize, getting ready to work out. And tomorrow I'll have another post that I'll post that'll lead it in. And people are I'm dripping on them through social media, right? So talk about dripping on people. So don't give too much away. Let it be a little bit of secret to build up curiosity, so that now they come back to you as the expert. So we can use our DMs to close. We can also use our PMs. We can use our email. So every post should invite private conversations. You need to have these things in place ahead of time before you start promoting it, so that you are well prepared. There's nothing worse than putting a social media post out there and you've got 650 people that responded to you, and then you hit the brick wall because you were not prepared for that. And it happens, folks. So have your link, have simple script. But more importantly, when you're thinking about a script, don't make it robotic. Allow an invitation of just being intuitive. Be intuitive when you speak with them. What are you sensing from them? What are they feeling? What's their issue? So that now you're not dependent on a script. But in the beginning, sometimes scripts are very beneficial, especially if you're first starting out, but make it very, very simple. Also, a clear CTA, and for those of you that might be new to network marketing, a CTA is a call to action. I must tell you, I've seen many, many posts on social media where they say, oh, you need to try LifeWave. And then everybody's like, wait a minute, what is this about? What's going on? There was no call to action. There was no, hey, I've had this issue in the past too. Why don't you hook up with me? Or what's another call to action? Watch this beautiful video. Go to this website. Those are all call to actions. So every single time you're doing a social media post where you are inviting private conversations, please let them know how to get hold of you. Please let them know. It's as simple as please DM me or please PM me, please text me. So clear messaging is going to be key. And like I said, we've given you a lot of pre-information to build from. Don't give it all away. Use it as we build up to Monday. And then pay attention. I'm going to really stress this, folks. Not everyone is yours to have. Not every person is yours. So again, that's going to be the intuition. That intuition of, is this the right person? Is this person really getting what I'm saying? Or are they just consuming my time and distracting me from the people who really are interested in getting on the product? People who are really interested in health and wellness. I mean, I'm sure all of you have experienced a time or two where you've devoted weeks and weeks into an individual for them to say, I've just decided I'm not going to do this. Well, we're not paying attention to the clues of how they're speaking to us. So pay attention. Not everyone is going to be your person. So you don't need to reinvent content. Just remix what works for you, but freshen it up. Use it towards what this is. And this is going to be about, who are you? Allow yourself to be seen as the expert. Allow yourself to be seen as the wellness individual yourself, right? Allow yourself to be seen as with mental clarity, because as Anne said, one of our ingredients helps to increase mental clarity. So you've got all of these areas: mental clarity, strength, muscle building, the glutathione helping with detoxing the body. You've got all of these things now that you get to play with. So this is just a very simple post that you could do that would start engaging some engagement. When I woke up refreshed, I knew something changed. I didn't need an alarm today. I didn't snooze. I didn't need coffee. This morning, I woke up clear. That may sound small, but if you know how it feels to be tired, even after a full night's sleep, you get it. How many Americans are experiencing that, folks? That's what Cellergize did for me. It's clean, lemony flavor. That feeds your cells instead of forcing your system. Want to try it? It launches next week. And then, of course, you put the CTA that you want to have them connect with you. You don't have to write it just like this, but you could literally take this and use it if you want. Take a screenshot of it, write it with your experience in it. I'm just providing you with a starting point so that your creative mind can begin to wow, I've got so many opportunities here now. So when it comes to launch day, there's a couple of other things that we can really talk about that we need to be prepared for. Let's just take a look at launch day. We can actually say, what if your morning routine got an upgrade? And you could just leave it as simple as that. Imagine starting your day without caffeine crashes, brain fog, or dragging energy. Next week, a new kind of cellular morning support hits, and it's on fire. Okay, these are things that you can just write, very short. It's called Cellergize, and your mornings will never be the same. No junk, no hype, just results. Right. And I believe it was Michelle that was talking about the energy drinks, those monster drinks. This is a great place where you could snippet this and compare the better quality, right? You guys are experts in this. You can do this. Want a peek inside the label? DM me. Yeah, see, now I'm not giving them everything. I'm not giving it on all one post. What I'm saying is, hey, if you want to know about these ingredients, let me know, because that is when we connect. That's when we're building the relationship. We can take that offline and we can give them even more. But here's the more important thing, is that now we understand why they are looking for this. We can meet their needs. We can use their language. So before the product launches, I would invite everybody, if you've not ever created a pre-populated cart, I love pre-populated carts. I know when I first signed up, I made a bunch of them. I had them on my website, and that's how my clients were ordering. But you're going to be able to do the same thing, but you don't have to have a website. You can simply have it in a place where it's easy for you to grab and go, so you don't have to go into your back office to go get the link. Don't do that, because it takes forever for them to load up. Once you create it, copy it and make you a library, whether you put it in a Word document or you put it in your social media, so you can just go copy and paste it. So get your teams used to making pre-populated carts, especially practitioners and doctors' offices and clinics, that this makes that super easy for them. For you, you might not need to do that, but it'll make it quick and easy to send somebody a link. So practice making the pre-populated cart now and teach your team how to create a populated cart. But here's a key. And for those of you that have created the pre-populated carts, you know this is true, is that the product will not be available for you to make a pre-populated cart until the day that it launches. And usually when it happens, I'm up at 1 o'clock in the morning, because that's when it goes live for me. I'm up at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm creating my cart, and then I go back to sleep, and I'm ready to hit it in the first thing in the morning. So get with your upline and learning how to make the pre-populated carts. I know that we've had several videos on it. I think even with Live Younger, we may have a video somewhere. But here are some other key points as you go in, is stay compliant. Please stay compliant. Don't make promises. Don't overstate claims. Keep it simple and to the point. And then I love using experiences, right? So use those experiences. Like, I used to experience this, but now I experience that. One of the examples I gave my team the other day is, I have been an athlete my whole life, but have never been able to build muscle. Never. I build fat, but never built muscle. Well, after starting Cellergize, my muscle is coming in and it's replacing that fat. I have the leaner, firmer, more strong body. So you see how that works? I can use my experience. Also say that it's an enhancement. Get used to that, because what's going to happen is they're going to say, well, if Cellergize does all of this with the stem cells, why do I even need to use the patches? Or if I'm already using the patches, why do I even need Cellergize? Well, Anne already told you why, right? But we always want to say that it's enhancing everything. It's enhancing my workouts, making me stronger. It's helping me to be stronger. And we also want to start using those words, it's supportive. That's going to take the place of, whenever you want to make a claim, stop yourself, just really stop yourself and say, wait a minute, I can't make a claim, but I can say that it's an enhancement and it's supportive. So I used to never gain muscle before using this product. Now it comes with ease, versus this product will increase muscle growth. We can't promise that, folks. We don't know their lifestyle. We don't know what's going on inside of them, but we give them hope by our experiences within the product of using it ourselves or sharing somebody else's story. So I think that was the end of my slides, Michelle. And that was a really cool story that you shared with Anne and I. Do you want to share that with everybody?
Absolutely. Yes. Before we open up for questions. Someone in my downline, and she may choose to come on and share the story herself, but she was telling me that her parents, she's been on the patches for 4 years. Her parents have also been for 4 years. They're in their 70s. And they were faithful. They used several of the patches, and they didn't notice anything huge. But when they started on Cellergize, the dad woke up it was about 2 weeks, and he said, I have so much energy and pep. And then the mom said to her daughter, and his sex
I
drive
have a
is much
comment to
better.
make.
And
Oh,
David said that yesterday, right? It increases
yes,
sexual activity.
increases sexual activity. Absolutely. So let's go out and have fun.
That's right.
Yay. So are there any questions? We're at the bottom of the hour, and we normally would go into any kind of business questions, but let's focus on Cellergize for a bit. Does
I
anyone have?
wonder, Michelle, and you ladies did such a fabulous job. I am blown away. I am just so delighted and grateful. And did you have any closing comments you wanted to make before we go into Q&A?
No, other than, I think that Dr. Velvet did a beautiful job with kind of putting this all together for us as, as we share this product, the language that she shared with us, go back and listen to this replay. I mean, I encourage you to do that. Listen to what Dr. Velvet said about the language you could use. Using social media can really help you move this product forward. So, somebody just asked, is it available in Canada? Yesterday, David said only in the US for now. So I'm sure that will be the next country, but he didn't say when. He just said it will be in the US only currently. And it is, my understanding is it's Monday, right? Right, Gregory?
Yes, Monday.
Yes,
Release date.
yes.
Yeah.
The 16th is a red letter day.
And I before we go on, I would like to draw everyone's attention. Sunshower made an excellent comment in the chat. The word Cellergize is most likely a play on the words energize and energize our cells. So it's Cellergize, just to get the pronunciation.
Cellergize.
Cellergize. All right. Who has a question? Oh, okay. Allie.
I wanted to stress there are so many people like me or swallowing capsules, or even if you're opening them to add to yogurt or something. That's a big selling point. You're just putting it into the water and you drink it, and it's not a challenge.
Thank you for saying that, Allie. That's actually been an issue. I've been a supplement taker my whole life, and some days I'm just like, blah, I just cannot swallow another supplement. So I absolutely love that about our product. Yes, great point. Beck.
Okay, this is so exciting. I'm so grateful for this team. I'm so grateful. I could go on and on. But I have a question, but before I ask it, I just want to tell you how my marketing brain is thinking, and everything here I'm going to use. I'm going to watch this a gazillion times. When I first came on board November 22, I started soaking up every podcast, video, anything David Schmidt said. And I remember at the first of the year, maybe it was the recording the year before or the 23, but he was talking about supplementing that the whole depletion of our ground vegetables, all the things. And I remember thinking, I want to know every single thing he uses. And to me, this feels like this is that. Okay, so that's going to be part of my story with the people that I have their ear. But what I was going to say is I've spent $44 to get a monthly shipment of electrolytes, and I did not know this had electrolytes in it. So my brain is doing flip-flops right now. I'm so pumped. My question is, Dr. Velvet, when you were telling that story as an example about never being able to gain muscle and exercising, and when you added Cellergize, that now muscle building is coming more enhanced, you're noticing it's supporting that growth. Was that your story or someone else's, or just a made-up example? Because I want to use it.
No, you can
It's a
use
real
it
deal.
because that's a
Thanks.
true story. And, it's
Awesome.
really funny because my husband kept saying, wow, this isn't fair. You're making losing weight look so easy. And I said, what are you talking about? Because I don't recognize it myself. And so I went to put on a pair of pants that had been tight, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. But the scale's not moving much. But you can compare that to somebody like The Rock, who has all these muscles. He's 6'4" or whatever, and weighs like 200 and something pounds, compared to a guy who's very flabby, who's the same height and who weighs exactly the same. It's body composition. And I love Cellergize is changing that body composition. I think a lot of ladies are going to really enjoy this.
Am I the only one right now whose body is covered in chill bumps? Because when you mentioned that about the scale, because I've been in fitness for a really long time, they say muscle weighs more than the fat. So that would kind of make sense with what you're saying. This is so exciting. Woohoo!
Awesome.
All right, Elizabeth, come on in.
Oh, good morning, everybody. And Michelle and Dr. Velvet, what an amazing presentation. That's absolutely wonderful. So my question is this, Anne's presentation, just primarily on the Cellergize. Is there any way we could just extract that? And my thought is this, from this training, because that would be a great response to Dr. Velvet's setup for social media. So somebody wants to know, what is it? How does it work? I feel like if we could reply back with that presentation that Anne put together, it was succinct, it was understandable, and I think people would really be excited. So that's my question. I don't know how to do that myself. I don't have the recording, but I think that would be a great respond back to, yes, please message me some information. And then of course for business builders, the information on the product plus what Dr. Velvet shared with how to share it would be, obviously this training would be great. So that was my question. Thanks again, that was great.
And I'll respond to that since it's a technical question. Right now, we're pretty slammed with our limited tech team is pretty slammed. So Elizabeth, I don't know how quickly we'd be able to do that. My recommendation is you extract it and make it a quote that you can send via text or email, as opposed to, in Dr. Velvet's own voice. But so, and maybe somebody in your up team or somebody has that ability to do that. But I know right now I don't want to commit Liz and our support team to anything else, because we're actually in the process of making some enhancements to liveyounger.com, the self-replicating and the standard website. So our plate is pretty full right now for technology.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate that. Maybe I can find somebody, and some of these things I'm learning how to do. So maybe
Cool.
we can just pull it off. We'll see what we can do and we'll let you know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Before we go to the next question, we have a few hands up and we have time, but let's try and keep our shares of questions to a minute or so. Also, Dr. Shauna Young wasn't able to raise her hand, and she has asked to make a comment. So how about we let Dr. Shauna come in real quick? She probably has something to say about the formula. Dr. Shauna, can you unmute?
Yep, just did. Hello.
Okay.
Sorry. No, I just wanted to make a really quick comment on it because, as a lot of you know, I have converted my practice from 25 years in an office, of a sort of wellness center, working with people one-on-one, selling products and doing all that. And I've converted completely to telemedicine as of this week, actually. And it's really interesting that the Cellergize came out now. The timing is perfect for me because this goes right into what I'm always telling people: less is more. What I do with a lot of people is take them off supplements. Most of the time when people come to me, I'm not putting them on more supplements. My first job is taking them off a million of them. So this product works so beautifully and perfectly right into that model, because if you are eating well and you're wearing your X39 patch, this is going to be the icing on the cake. And I've been taking Cellergize myself, and I've got amazing stories. Somebody asked me, my brother asked me who stuffed bluebirds into me the other day, because I was like, ooh, when I was talking to him, and I just did an interstate move. So that's saying something. But the product, I think that the appeal for a lot of people is going to be that they don't have to cover their kitchen with supplements. They can get rid of their closet supplements that they have and really, really pare it down. So for me, this could not be better.
To tag along on Dr. Shauna, the two nutrients that David said, Cellergize, the two ingredients it doesn't have are omega fats, and we do need those, right, Dr. Shauna?
Yep.
And but B complex, right? If you're not eating a very, very balanced diet, you might need some Bs. Is that right, Dr. Shauna? Would you agree?
Yeah, but again, you're able to pick and choose on them.
Yes.
It's going to make it, you can take one thing, you're not going to have to take 10 different supplements. or different
Exactly.
things like that. But
Exactly.
and so this is this is going to free up a lot of space on a lot of people's kitchen counter.
Agree.
I mean, and
Agree.
not to mention it's going to free up a lot of space for more money to get it in your wallet, because
Yes.
I cannot believe how much money people spend on supplements. I mean, I'm a doctor and I don't, it's like a house payment, some of these people, what they're spending on supplements.
Agree
So
100%.
yeah. So, not only is taking less supplements better for your body, but it's better for your pocketbook and it's better for your brain. There's not, and what about traveling? All you have to do is, take these couple of things with you. People get dependent on taking too many supplements for that's happening. And then if they're not taking them for a week, they don't feel well. So, you're trying to make your life sustainable. And
Great points.
you know,
There's been comments in the chat about the price. It appears that it's going to be the same as the patches that are non-X39 patches. $69.95 for one, $59.95 for two, and $49.95 each for three.
Hmm.
So buy in bulk, right? Okay, Nellie.
anyway, that's my comment.
Nellie, then Rita, then Veronica, and we're going to end with Sunshine. Go ahead, Nellie. Go ahead and unmute.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much for this time. I have been using a nutrition whole food powder for 10 years. It's Juice Plus, so fruits, vegetables, and what is it? The berries. So I'm trying to decide, because it's nutrition, it's just whole food powders, it's not a supplement. And then the Cellergize, does anybody know if
Well, that sounds, Nellie, and Anne can probably comment too, but that sounds like it's not actual supplemental type. It's like a food. You're talking about whole foods.
That's
and
right.
if that's part of your whole food diet and you put it in a smoothie, that's probably fine to keep doing.
Okay.
Would you agree, Anne?
I would agree. And,
Yeah.
and all you're doing is remember the word enhance, right? Dr.
Okay.
Velvet talked about that. You're enhancing the benefits you're getting already with the Cellergize.
Right. And the company, because I'm a rep for the company, so they don't allow distributors to sell anything that's going to compete with them. But with the Cellergize, it would be a competition because it has vitamins in it, right? Probably not. I'll find out. I cannot drink it by itself because it has so much sugar. I'm allergic, not allergic, but I don't like sugar. And so I put it in my smoothie. But somebody on the chat was saying, did they change the natural flavors? Does it still have the natural flavors?
Nellie, I didn't follow you. Did you say that Cellergize has sugar in it? It does not.
Well, no. It's very sweet. It's too sweet for me. So I have to put it in my smoothie, and then I have to put a lot of greens because it's so sweet, extremely sweet for me.
Okay, so it has stevia, which for some people is intensely sweet. I, for one, love stevia. You may want to do what David Schmidt does, which is use 1 scoop in the morning and 1 scoop in the afternoon. If you use 2 scoops, it may be too sweet, but use 1 scoop with more water, and therefore it will be more dilute. So,
And if I might add to that, Michelle,
yes.
going a little bit about the formulation of nutritional products. If David didn't add, it's an art form to be able to add all these unique components that if you had that and it wasn't flavor enhanced, you wouldn't be able to swallow it to make it palatable. So I think they ended up with a delicious drink. I thoroughly enjoy it. I have a glass of it every morning in my morning water. But if it's too sweet for some of you, mix it with a smoothie. That'll be great. But the fact that they were able to mask the flavors, and Anne, you could probably comment about this. Some of these supplements on their own probably wouldn't be very palatable.
A lot of supplements have a very bitter taste.
Yeah.
So you can't not add some kind of sweetener or people wouldn't drink it and it wouldn't sell, right? I mean, you want a product that's going to sell. And so you do have to add some sweetener in it. But, I've had a lot of people say, I don't like the aftertaste of stevia, but if you do put it in a smoothie or you put it in something else, you'll find that you're not going to notice it so much. It works pretty well to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Okay, Rita, Douglas, oh my goodness. We're getting close to the top of the hour, so let's keep them short. Rita, go ahead.
Okay, so as a doctoral student, I learned about single case research design, A, B, A, B. A, you don't have the product, B, you have it, A, you don't have it, B, you have it. I have done a perfect A-B design. I used Cellergize for 3 months and my life got way better. And then I ran out. So I can't wait till Monday.
I love your shares, Rita. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, Douglas.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment. I went through 5 weeks with 4 kidney stones, in the hospital, out of the hospital, into the doctor, meds. Long story short, got to visit with Dr. Valetti and Velvet, excuse me. Anyway, 4 days on Cellergize, and all 4 kidney stones were out and gone. Thank you, LifeWave.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoa. We weren't even expecting a whole lot of testimonials this morning, but wow. Thank you, Douglas. That's beautiful.
You're welcome.
Okay, Sanchar.
So I'm Canadian and I love the Queen's English and the pronunciation of this Cellergize. It would be great if we could get it before we start saying it a lot to people. So I'm suggesting, if you don't mind, we all just say it 3 times together, unmute and say it 3 times so we get it.
Cellergize.
Energize, not sell you. It's not.
There's no Y. There's no Y.
Cellergize.
Wait, let's say it 2 times together.
Cellergize.
Unmute.
Cellergize.
Cellergize.
Somebody ought to make up a jingle.
Go
Somebody needs to make up a jingle. Cellergize.
All right, awesome.
Something like that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Veronica, then Lavelle or Maget.
Okay, yeah, this is Veronica. Somebody asked in the chat, and I'd like to know, is this it's 1 container of Cellergize? Is that a 30-day supply?
Yes, definitely is.
Okay.
For like 1 scoop a day or 2
No,
scoops?
2 scoops a day.
2 scoops a day. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good question. Thank you, Veronica. Okay, Lavelle or Maget?
Hey, Michelle. Great job, ladies. You're phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And David said you can use it 1 scoop in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. But he did say on one of his trainings, guys, if you use 2 scoops in the afternoon, late afternoon, you may be up later that night. So make sure.
And make sure if you have a partner that you're having fun inside.
Yay, Maget.
But I do want to share also, guys, when we got the Cellergize and we run out, but you know how we always say, keep using the patches because more things will happen? Well, guys, when I got the Cellergize, and of course I use my patches every day, I stopped drinking coffee. Now watch.
Wow.
When I ran out of the Cellergize, I still don't need coffee. So I am so excited about this product, guys.
And it's been what, 6 months?
About 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months?
Yeah, so guys, we're very, very excited. And like I heard, I think Dr. Velvet say, guys, like Jim Rohn always says, if you gotta wait till the product comes, you don't understand fortune. Guys, tell your story. Just say, hey guys, this thing, or tell someone else's story. Thanks so much for letting me share. Thanks so much.
Oh boy, I love everyone's being on fire this morning. Woohoo! All right. So I don't see any more hands. Does anyone else have a question or a testimonial? Okay, Josephina, go ahead and unmute.
I just want to share that Lavelle sent one of my brand members a gift. He sent him a Cellergize AM bottle because he has really bad lung problems. He was on 20% lung function and on oxygen. And he was complaining that the patches didn't work and he wanted his money back. And Lavelle said, well, it took a long time for you to get to that condition. It's not going to go away just using it a month. And as token of love, he sent him the Cellergize and it worked. He's feeling so much better. How long has been on the thing? On the patches, he's been on for a few months now.
December.
Yeah. And the last time we saw him a few weeks ago, or I didn't see him, but another person saw him and talked to him, he wasn't walking around with his little oxygen tank anymore. And the doctor did say that his lung function is a lot better. His numbers are a lot better. So it works. It made a world of a difference for him.
Just imagine how many more people we're going to help.
Yes, and thank you to Lavelle. He's been very great helping us.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, thank you, Josephina.
Mhm.
Okay, we have a couple more hands, Beck, and then Anne.
Yes, ma'am. I saw someone ask this and I was wondering the same thing. Will David Schmidt's educational recording be on our website, Live Younger, or is it going to be uploaded anytime soon? I didn't get to watch it because I was unavailable the whole day.
I'm thinking you mean Live Younger YouTube, our YouTube channel?
That's what I meant. Yes, ma'am. I know sometimes we get stuff uploaded before it happens. You know what I mean?
That I can't speak to that. Do you know, Gregory, if I know that Liz typically gets I don't know if Liz is on this call this morning. And Anne, if you have input as well. I know sometimes the LifeWave Connects take a little longer to come onto our YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, they usually take about a week before they come on, but Liz has, you're right, Liz has uploaded them in the past. So it really is a question for Liz, and I don't think she's here today. So Gregory will have to
Yeah,
talk.
no, she's not, but I'll check in with her and I'm dashing out the door to my granddaughter's 16th birthday breakfast party.
Oh, yay! Happy birthday to the grand.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so I'll check in on that. We'll get that up as quickly as we can.
Okay, well, we'll wrap up with Mrs. Ann Ford. Go ahead, unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I know that some people are reacting to the taste, and I just want to encourage people, if you deal with anyone with the problem with the taste, remember some of the comments today, because it is a formula that's so valuable to find a way to make it palatable is so important. Diluting it. I mean, we can share ideas, but I think it's good to be very creative and tell people, let's look for a way to make it palatable, like trying to encourage people to hydrate, right? We think of ways like some people add it to their smoothies. Somebody just mentioned kefir. They add it to their kefir, but because the elements are so important and they aren't tasty by themselves, I think that you could encourage them to find a way to really enjoy the flavor, because I do like it very diluted. I mean, I have to dilute it with a lot of water, but it is wonderful flavor. So be helping everybody find a way to appreciate the ingredients.
What is the flavor, please? What is it? What is the flavor?
It's
David described it as a lemony iced tea flavor. How would you just
lemon ginger mix is kind
lemon
of
ginger? Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, you have lots of ideas here from this call today of what you can do in terms of diluting or adding it to a smoothie. I don't think it's going to be a problem, especially when you really own how amazing this product is and become a product of the product. All right, Sunshower.
Sylvia Amaral put the link to the replay from yesterday's Connect. So you do have it if you can grab it from this chat. Click on it and it's live.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you to Sylvia. Okay. All right. Well, I think that I don't even know if Gregory's still here. So I think we'll just wrap up, Anne, and maybe Dr. Velvet had to also leave. So thank you all so much for being here this morning. This has been a very lively, wonderfully educational and exciting call. So we have a lot to look forward to. Check your email. Dr. Velvet said she'll be up at 1 a.m. Central
There you
Time.
go.
There you are. Hello, Dr.
That's
Velvet.
right.
All right. All right. So thank you all. Have a beautiful X39 and soon Cellergize Day. Take care.
Thank you, Michelle.
Great
Bye,
job.
guys.
Great
Michelle
job.
Thank you, everyone.
and
Thank you,
Dr.
Gregory.
So
Velvet.
much wonderful
Thank you,
Happy
information.
Gregory. Thank
healing.
you,
Bye-bye.
Love
Dr.
you,
Velvet.
Justin.
Thank you, Michelle.
So
Thanks,
exciting.
everyone. Much
Love
love.
you all.
Goodbye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Great
Thanks, Dr.
job,
Velvet.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Happy healing.
Hasta la
Bye,
vista,
everybody.
baby. We love you.
Thank you
Love
very
you.
much.
Take
Beautiful
care.
work.
Okay.
Have a good X39 day.